Before I begin, I would like to ask that you leave a comment about what you think will happen at the end of Season 2 of Ncuti Gatwa's run as Doctor Who. This video has mild spoilers and a lot of speculation, so if you agree or disagree with my ideas, let me know that too. I'll be talking about the upcoming two-part finale, Wish World and the Reality War, promoted as follows. Experience time and space on the big screen with Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor, Varada Sethu as Belinda Chandra, and Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday, and celebrate an epic two-part end-of-season finale at your local cinema on the 31st of May 2025. Watch the finale of Season 2, The Reality War, on the big screen. Belinda Chandra has been kidnapped by robots, faced a terrifying god, and a creature of pure evil on her travels with the Doctor. With the TARDIS still unable to get her home to Earth, Belinda must fight for her life as the Doctor faces an almighty threat to reality itself. Screening starts at 6 p.m. with Wish World, followed by The Reality War. The Disney Plus Doctor Who seems like a soft reboot in a way. It introduces things longtime viewers already know and presents them for probable new and young viewers to establish background for them that they don't know. The Doctor is lonely, as we saw in the Christmas special Joy to the World, and is always abandoned. Gallifrey has been destroyed and the Doctor is the last Time Lord. The Doctor is a father and had children and grandchildren. The Doctor struggles with his emotions and sometimes can't solve the problems he and his companions face. I had mentioned that this Doctor seemed less experienced, less capable, more vulnerable in previous videos. I speculated that the bi-generation, since the 14th Doctor was still out and about, was somehow incomplete, and the 15th Doctor, while having access to all of the knowledge of his previous incarnations, didn't have the emotional connection to them that regenerations usually had, like reading someone else's diary, in a way. That was to explain why he always cried, and why it seemed like he was getting over certain things like being alone, as if for the first time. Of course, this could simply be part of the soft reboot idea, presenting these concepts and character elements for an inexperienced and unknowing audience. We met the Toymaker in the final Tennant episode, an adversary from ancient Doctor Who lore. We met Sutekh in last season's finale, someone from ancient Doctor Who lore. In episode 3 of season 2, The Well, we met the Midnight Entity again, a creature established during Tennant's run. We heard of galvanic radiation in the Toymaker's last appearance. It was used in the beam that resulted in the bi-generation which formed Gatwa's Doctor. In Midnight, the crystalline planet was assaulted by rays from its extonic star, extonic radiation, which was also galvanic radiation, as we learned in The Well. The Midnight Entity can read people's minds, as established in both of its appearances, and it already knew a lot about the Doctor from their last meeting. Now it may have learned about the bi-generation, possibly made a link between that event and the galvanic beam, possibly figured out how to bi-generate itself and split off a second Midnight Entity, having been exposed to galvanic radiation for hundreds of thousands of years at the very least. There was an entity in the airlock with Alice and the two soldiers, 4 people on the monitor, and later on the ship. And there was an entity with the Doctor's group that was taken away with the captain when she sacrificed herself. Or were there always 2? Back to the first idea, how many entities could there be if the entity can split itself using galvanic radiation? Would a vast source of galvanic radiation be needed to facilitate a split? Could this creepy Midnight Entity have played a part in what happened to Ruby during 73 Yards? Whispering to people, making them paranoid, moving on to the next, all to undermine and trap the Doctor's companion. What else have we seen during this new run of Doctor Who? The not things from the second Tennant special, things at the edge of the universe in the episode Wild Blue Yonder. Were there 2 of them, or just one that created 2 forms? It or they could copy people based on their minds and memories. Sounds familiar, right? Like the Midnight Entity trying to steal the Doctor's body in the episode Midnight. The not things slowly got better and better, closer and closer to becoming who they were copying, just as the entity on the planet Midnight got better and better at being the Doctor, copying the Doctor. Manifesting physical form lent them the weaknesses of that form. The Midnight entity doesn't seem to manifest its own form, just possess someone, but it had a form, didn't it? Running among the crystals, hiding behind its host? Could the Midnight entity or entities be related to the not things, the latter having finally found a way into the real universe? In Wild Blue Yonder, the Doctor and Donna also introduced the concept of magic and superstition, the power of belief over nature, to these entities, and maybe to the universe as a whole. Could that tie into the first part of the finale, Wish World? The second part, the reality war, seems like it might tie into beings who can reshape what we know as real. The Doctor needed a spoon in Empire of Death, something real, not just a memory of something, to help defeat Sutekh. Is that spoon still on the TARDIS? Will there be a callback to the spoon the Doctor acquired in Empire of Death, the real spoon that he needed? Will that spoon be lent some kind of supernatural, superstitious recognition? There has been talk of an unannounced regeneration taking place in this season's finale, and talk of the Doctor going on a break for a while when this season is done. There might be truth to this, or it might be juicy fodder for social engagement to make people talk about Doctor Who and tune in to see what happens. I had already wondered if we would see Tennant's number 14 appear again, as he is out there with his own TARDIS while 15 is adventuring, and should have been on Earth when whatever cataclysm happened in 2025 that stops them from returning Belinda to her time. I speculated that 14 and 15 would have to merge to create a complete 15, undoing the bi-generation that caused of 14's existence to make Gatwa's Doctor finally whole in a way. Of course, my concerns about this emotional, inexperienced seeming Doctor were all probably just part of the soft reboot for newer viewers. Yet, that doesn't mean we won't see Tennant's Doctor again. The rumored regeneration might just be 14 passing on his energy to 15. So, will we see the Midnight entity or entities again in the finale? Will we see the not things? What do wishes and reality mean, based on everything we have seen so far in this new run of Doctor Who? What is Russell T Davies' long game for this season and for his run? I guess we'll find out in a few weeks. If you have any thoughts, theories, agreement, disagreement, anything, please leave a comment. If you want more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel for content on entertainment of all kinds. If this video entertained, informed, or made you ponder in any way, leave a like to let me know. Thanks for watching. See you next time.